Good afternoon, guys. This is your Sir DRV again, and welcome back to our hero review series. And I just want to let you know this is also one of my alt account. And for this account, I mainly focus on Gaia, which we will be reviewing for today. And without further ado, let's go. So I just wanted to let you know something about Gaia, guys. So Gaia is actually one or have the highest base defense in terms of tanks. So as you can see, my Gaia is only plus 15 here. If you compare it to my Anubis, which is plus 20, look at the difference, guys. He is at 26,000 defense. Look at my Gaia. It's the 34,493, only at plus 15. So I just want to let you know again, Gaia has the highest base defense in game. All right, so let's go with her skills. So what makes her good at tanking or good at your lineup? So Gaia is actually one of the best end game tanks. She is not really viable early game, but if you upgrade her weapons up to 300 and you have at least level 280 or 260 base levels on this Gaia, she will definitely rock and help you complete those stages in late mid game and early late game. Alright, so let's start checking her skills. So her ultimate is the Primal Might. Gaia channels the power of the earth to deal damage equal to 2% of her max health, 4 times all enemies, and reducing their attack speed by 40% for 3 seconds. So not only Gaia damaging the enemies, she is actually removing their attack speed, or not removing, lowering down the attack speed by 40%. At level 2, deals damage equal to 2.2% of Gaia's max health. And at level 3, reduce attack speed by 50%. So this is why Gaia is pretty insane in late game, because of this attack speed reduction. Aside from that, there is also an additional stun to this ultimate, but we will check that later because it is included on the weapon upgrade. Alright, so at level 4, deals damage equal to 2.4% of Gaia's max health. So more health at level 300, more damage, reducing their attack speed. Great for damage dealers on the enemy side. So definitely one of the best ultimates for tanks. Alright, so what is her active skill? So it's the Brutal Bludgeon. As you can see, Gaia turns around and he's actually throwing the enemy into the air. Let me just check the settings. Okay, that's good. So Gaia is throwing the enemy into the air. At level 4, it will have an additional stun effect when they land. Alright, so the knock up is considered as stun as well, and then when they land, they will be stunned again for 1.5 seconds. Alright, so what is the level 2? For every stack of Earthly Bane, deal 20% extra damage. And level 3 deals 250% damage, and the level 4, which is giving additional stun. Alright, so that's a good active skill. Great crowd controller. So this is her third skill, a passive, Rocky Semblance. At the beginning of the battle, Gaia gains a stone shield, which increases her defense by 40%. When Gaia is the target of control skill while it is active, the shield will be consumed to remove the control. Regenerates 10 seconds afterwards. So every 10 seconds, Gaia will have a stone shield. And if the enemy is throwing crowd control to Gaia, it will cancel out the rocky semblance, but it will be regenerate, or it will be Gaia will get it back after 10 seconds. Okay, so at level 2, when Gaia removes a control, she recovers 4% health per second for 5 seconds. At level 3, increase defense by 60% while Stone Shield is active. So not only Gaia is increasing her defense, she also have insane amount of health recovery, self-health recovery. So even if you don't have a healer, Gaia will have a good amount of healing on her own. So talking about healing, the second passive, the Earthly Bane, is actually another healing skill for him as well, for her as well. So for every 35% of health lost, Gaia gains 1 stack of Earthly Bane, increasing her max health by 4%. This effect can stack up to 6 times. So if she have Earthly Bane, she will further increase her HP, and it can increase up to 6 times. So at level 2, additionally, 50% of the increased health will be recovered as well. Nice, another healing. For level 3, for every 30% of total health lost, add 1 stack of Earthly Bane. So more stacks, more health, more healing. At level 4, for every 25% of total health lost, add 1 stack of Earthly Bane. So at level 1 is 35%. At level 4, which is pretty insane, for every 25% lost, she will add 1 stack of Earthly Bane, and she will have insane amount of health and insane amount of healing on herself. So that's her skill. Let's talk about her weapon. So this is where Gaia is pretty viable for endgame, and that is on her 300. So let's read the 100 first. Increase the stack limit of Earthly Bane to 8 stacks. So remember guys, more stacks, more health, more healing. At 200, increase the stack limit of Earthly Bane to 10 stacks. So 10 stacks of 40%, 10 stack of 4% is 40%. So she will increase her health 40%. So that's a good amount of health added to her HP. So the last hit, so for the 300, which is I told you earlier, the most viable, or the most insane CC for her, the last hit of Primal Might will knock targets into the air for 1.5 seconds. So I know most of you have seen her skills. The Primal Might actually is an AoE ultimate. She can deal some damage in front of her and at the back. So if there's enemy at the back of her, those enemies will also be affected by her ultimate. Okay, so if you have 300, they will be stunned, and 1.5 seconds is a good amount of time in the late game. So you will have time for your damager to do their thing, do their ultimates, and do their damage to complete the stage. Alright, so at 400, decreases the regeneration cooldown of Rocky Semblance to 7 seconds. So The base regeneration of Rocky Semblance is 10 seconds. At 400, it is reduced to 7 seconds. So Gaia at 400 will be hard to be crowd controlled or get stunned. Okay, but I suggest you rush Gaia at 300 if you mainly use her. The reason why I only have her at 100 is because I just recently built her. In about 1 or 2 days, I will be able to reach 300 because of the times 2 in the ancient weapon. Alright, so that's it for her weapon skills. So remember guys, rush her to 300 if you want her to be more useful. Okay, so how about her equipment? So for her skills, most of her skills is into healing and making her HP increase a lot, right? So that's the reason why I chose the rune, light rune for her. So what it does is it recovers HP, max a percentage of max health every second. So since Gaia have a great defense and good amount of health, this light rune will greatly benefit Gaia. And when health is below 50%, all health restoration effect increased by 35%. So all healing, if her HP goes down below to 50%, will increase by 35%. So what about her artifact? So I select the Scarab badge, which is also an artifact for healing. So wearer recovers 35% of max health after it drops below 30% for the first time. So imagine guys, if your health reach below 50%, restoration effect increased by 35%, okay, for the rune. And on top of that, if your health reach below 35%, there's another 30% of healing, which will be given by this Scarab badge. Okay. Alright, so wearers recover 35% of max health after it drops below 30% for the first time. Okay. So all in all, we are focused on self-healing for Gaia because just like I mentioned earlier, she has the highest base defense stats. Okay, so highest base defense stats, and her skills increases her HP a lot. So no need to put defenses. All you need is the healing effect on this rune and artifact. Alright, so what are the useful divinity skills for Gaia? Alright, so for early game and mid game, like me, I'm still at the early game, I'm using the Immortality Resonance. When this hero is killed, stun nearby enemies for 3 seconds. So actually my Gaia is rarely killed, but if she gets killed, then she will stun enemies. All right, so that's good, a clutch time for your DPS main carries. What are the other skills for Divinity? So I suggest you use this, increase all shield strength by 20%, and then this one, the Gemini. After receiving a healing skill, an additional recovery of 6% of health is also generated. This effect can only be triggered once every 5 seconds. Okay, so another healing effect. So Gaia is really hard to kill if you build her properly. So what are her endgame skills or endgame divinity skills? So the first endgame divinity skills I suggest is getting this recovery. During the first 15 seconds of the battle, recovers 4% of max health every second. So at endgame, Gaia is truly an unkillable tank. All right, as long as she has good amount of upgrades and levels, she will be unkillable. Another good divinity skills is, so this is the skill that you will use: recovery and then resonance. So you can either choose the last one for the excitement or the supernova. All right, but since she is a tank, then I suggest you just get this excitement. Restores 150 energy within the first 5 seconds of the battle. So the faster Gaia do his ultimate, then the faster you will kill the enemy, because her ultimate stuns the enemy. All right, so that's her divinity skills that I suggest you use in endgame. All right, so we have covered everything from equipment, divinity, and weapon. So let's showcase Gaia. Let's see what she can do. I have a perfect stage for us to showcase it, for us to showcase Gaia, and this is at the Virgin stages. So I will only be using Gaia here, just to let you see how insane his health recovery. Okay, so let's go. Okay, do you see the the healing that she is making on herself? Okay, let's do another stage. This one. All right, you see those healings? Her HP is not even going down. Look at her healing, self-healing. So much healing. All right, do you see that green aura coming out of her? That's her passive that stocks. And do you see her armor? Sometimes she's not wearing the armor, right? That's the earthly vein. So if you have that earthly vein, you are immune to crowd control. So take a closer look at her armor. Okay. So right now she has armor. If someone attacks him with stuns, look, her armor lost, right? That is because in the enemy side, they cast a CC. And it canceled out. Nice. So always full HP. Not even lowering down. So yeah, that's it. That is my showcase to my Gaia. And let's do one campaign. Let me just showcase her on campaign. So look at her healing, guys. Insane amount of healing. And these enemies are a higher level than the rest. So only Susanoo can survive here, but she have increased amount insane amount of healing, and that makes our carry do her thing, or do their thing to finish the job. If only I have the weapon 300, this will be easier, so much easier. All right, so yeah, I think that's it for my showcase. And thank you very much for watching, guys. If you have comments, suggestions, please leave a comment down below. And also don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you on my next video. Goodbye for now.